Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum, Solana and injective price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. Starting with Ethereum on the daily here, where we have several 1-2s, of course, where we see still a potential correction here for wave 2. And that because, of course, in a daily scenario here, we are looking for the following possibilities. As, of course, after we finished here a big 1-2, and then we have another one too. The wave 2 here is also WXNY. We have of course, a very long sideways correction WXNY and followed by double 1-2. Now we have an impulse, correction, impulse, and this is still a very, of course, clear correction unfolding for Ethereum over there. Now, of course, right now we see a very aggressive move from Ethereum towards the downside, as this is also expected. And that because, of course, in this complex structure, you might be in W, X, and a Y, where you have a W, 3 waves, you have an X, also 3 waves, and you're looking for a wave Y also as 3 waves toward the downside. Now, clearly, this can be, of course, a wave A, you have a wave B, and you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. No invalidation has been taken. We have a gap here, of course, between the invalidation with the wave 1 and the wave 4, so we're still perfect as, of course, wave C to be finished here in a wave 5 as we are expecting. So expectations for this wave 5 are, of course, inside this blue box as well to be reached, and potentially, of course, a little bit lower can be than the 0.618, meaning in confluence you might get, of course, this area, which it might be, of course, between the 2643 and the 2800, I would say. So this, of course, yeah, can be a very likely scenario to finish up here a wave Y in a wave 2 as well. Now, if we are in a bigger or larger wave C, ABC here, meaning you're looking at A, B, and a C, this, therefore, can be a diagonal, which it also requires one more move toward the downside. This diagonal can be represented as following. So we can have, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So as you can see, both case scenarios still require one more low here in case you are in wave C. But in this case, you would like to see, of course, a zigzag, because this might be, of course, a zigzag for wave 5 in a diagonal. At the same time, if we are in an impulse, and it appears to be here, a very strong impulse toward the downside, we might be, of course, in a potential wave 5, right? After wave 4, here you are in an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This wave 5, of course, might finish the Y here as W, X, and a Y. Meaning, both case scenario, it's a nice confluence for both case scenario, because both needs one more low and then moving toward the upside in confluence with the blue box here in the target area. So yeah, Ethereum still have, of course, a potential to move toward the upside, I would say, after this low, potentially around the 2,800, 2,900. We'll see what's gonna happen next. So this was for Ethereum. Let's move for Solana. For Solana as well, on the daily, we are looking at the following scenarios for the daily all-time history here. We are in a potential wave 1 or a wave A. We have B and a C to finish a wave A, and we're looking for a correction. Now, this correction, of course, that it might be an ABC here, where you have the 1-to-1 fib level, $80, $75 in confluence with the 0.38, might finish up several bullish scenario, which it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 in a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, you still need, of course, the 3 waves for a wave 3 after it. And finally, you have 3 waves for a wave A and 3 waves for a wave B, and then moving toward the upside for a wave C. By all means, in all case scenarios, for the bullish, preferably, of course, to have this 3 waves towards the downside for Solana here. Yeah, so these are the possibilities right now for this correction, in case, of course, that we move inside it on the 2 hours chart here. We are looking as well for a very complex structure here, And of course, it can be something impulsive if you want to continue here like 1 2 1 2, and you are unfolding right now wave 3 toward the downside. This is very likely because you have 1 2 3 4 and a 5, no invalidation taken. And of course, we see lower prices here. Continuation as for a wave 5, right? So we're looking at 1 2 1 2 3 4 5, 4 and a 5, meaning blue box at least here can be taken. Well, you still have a testing area here, of course, which is probably this wave 2 can be taken, of course, as a potential wave 1 here, and a wave 2. Well, as a leading diagonal, you still can be in this scenario. So we are testing this area, but on the daily, it's very likely that we move impulsively, much more impulsive toward the downside here for Solana. But we're gonna watch, of course, this area first before claiming that very bearish scenario. For that was it for Solana. Let's move for Injective here. For Injective as well, on the daily, we are looking at the following. Let me just open the daily. Here we go. So we have double 1 2 potentially toward the upside wave 3 to unfold, and probably 3 ways toward the upside as well for wave A finished, and you're looking for 3 ways down, 3 ways up, something to be finished definitely over there for a wave B. A structure has to be finished, whether 5 ways diagonal or potential zigzag in a wave Y. Can be even a triangle for a wave Y. And we need definitely the same time taken from the W to the X to the wave Y here to be unfolding as a correction before the move toward the upside. 0.618 as a FIP time is very likely, not necessarily really to take the low, but of course the time can be very required here. Can be any structure, or it can be a diagonal to finish over there and then start the move toward the upside. So if we take a look also closer right now, we see a drop, of course, for Injective, where we are looking right now at a potential 1 2 here. And you can be, of course, in a wave 3 finished over there if you don't want to consider this wick, because it's different on many platforms. If you consider only this part of this that as a wave 3, where we start to see, of course, a rebound here, can be because you took the low with an impulse over there. So you can consider 1 2 3, wave 4 as triangle, wave 5 given in this blue box. Now we saw, of course, 3 ways toward the upside again, but we see again a movement for lower prices, which of course, very likely to invalidate any kind of an impulse here, and especially, of course, if this is a wave 1. So I would say this has finished as 3 waves toward the upside. Currently, you might be, of course, in several 1 2s, and continuation toward the downside target are still there for a wave 5 to be reached clearly in one more move for Injective. Yep, so that was it for Ethereum, Solana, and Injective. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.